I'm Andrea, and on behalf of Unified Erie, welcome to the 2017 Youth Work Awards. We are so excited to have you. This is just, I say it every year, so if you come every year, you're going to laugh probably, but this is absolutely my favorite day of the entire year. This is the best event that I get to work on because it is a privilege and an honor to tell all of you how much you matter to this community and to tell you that you are making a difference in the lives of kids. In case you have not heard of Unified Erie or know what we are a collaborative violence reduction project. Our whole goal is to reduce violence in Erie County, and we do that through 3 prongs: prevention, enforcement, and reentry. I know just enough about enforcement and reentry to be dangerous, but prevention is where I live. This is what I work on and what I do. And this event was a brainchild that came out of one of our prevention teams that works with family issues. And our first year, we were trying to decide how we get the input and the wisdom and the knowledge from you, from the people who are actually working hands-on with kids in our community. And not to be mean or offensive or dismissive at all, but not always do the supervisors or the CEOs or the people at a high level know what you know to be true and what you know needs to happen. And so when we started, the whole idea was, how do we get all of them in a room and pick their brains? And then we started talking about how hard that was going to be to make happen, and then we started talking about how deserving you were, and we said, hey, if we're going to bring them all together, let's make sure we honor them. And so 4 years ago, that's how this started. If you were here with us then, we did breakout sessions, and we got a whole bunch of information from you, and out of that came a training series that we partnered with United Way. And then the next year, we did breakout sessions, and we worked on another project, and again. This year, we're actually not doing breakout sessions, but I will put a little plug in here because we still want to pick your brains. You're brilliantly smart, and you have a lot to offer us on how we can best interact and help the families in our community. And there's a survey we handed you. It's only the first page, the rest is just reference. And if you could take a few minutes at some point this morning to fill out that survey and just answer some of those questions, it will actually help shape the projects that Unified Erie is working on in regards to family and prevention in the coming year. So if you have a minute and can do that sometime during the day before you leave, we would love it. So just to give you an overview of the rest, we have some wonderful speakers, and then we're going to get into honoring the 55 nominees. That is a record. We have never had so many people nominated, and so deserving. And so we are really excited to recognize all 55 nominees, and then we get to the trophy part, which is really fun. And so we will end with that. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce Gary Lee from the County Executive's Office. He has been a wonderful supporter of Unified Erie, and I welcome Gary to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. I'll say it again, good morning, everyone. Good morning. That's much better. I tell you what, it's really good seeing everyone today. I've been coming here for the last 4 years, and they've been asking me to do the introduction each time, so I guess I'm doing a pretty good job. So that's a good thing. First of all, let's give a round of applause to Adrienne and her team for such an outstanding program. Also, I'd like to acknowledge our special guests that we have in the audience. We have our attorney, district attorney, Jack Denary. We have Chief Dacus. And then we have our speaker, which we're going to be hearing from, the Honorable Curtis Jones. Let's give them a round of applause. And then the reason why we're here. We're here to honor individuals that have worked very diligently in our community, and sometimes it goes unnoticed. But today we're going to honor each and every one. To be nominated for this particular award is a blessing, not only a blessing, but it's a gift because you're giving your time to the community. So for the individuals that are going to receive the actual awards, I congratulate you. But to all the nominees, you're all winners. Let's give a round of applause to the nominees. Now, when I go to speak, I tell people that I feel very comfortable behind a podium because my father was a pastor. And now I feel extra comfortable because I'm in a church. But I tell you what, I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to be before you very long. I just want to make a couple comments and then we'll hear from our guest speaker. You know, when I go out and travel around the region here, people ask, "Hey, so what does the Director of Administration do?" And I think to myself, hey, good question. But seriously, what I do, I'm in charge of 10 departments. I'm not going to go through them all. It's from the library to planning to facilities and management, and actually the warden of the prison reports to me. Public safety, public health, Department of Human Services. So I have over 800 employees, 10 directors that report directly to me. So my day is pretty busy on the average day, but only the major problems make it up to me. But the other part of my job is doing events like this and going out into the region and to the county to share and to really talk about what's going on in a positive way. And we can see by today, this is very, very positive. The comments that I'll make before I take my seat, two things. Number one, I really enjoy reading a lot. And I read 2 to 3 books. My goal is to read 2 to 3 books a week, not a week, excuse me, a month. I have to remember I'm in church, so I can't lie. My goal is to read 2 to 3 books a month. And one of the books that I read over the last year, Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols, is a book that really stays with me because it's very, very special. And she really talks about developing a new mindset and the importance of developing a new mindset. And in the book, she gives an analogy about getting in a vehicle and driving. And many of us have really forfeited our lives as far as moved out of the driver's seat into the passenger seat. So she talks about people who have moved out of the driver's seat of their own lives and they're riding as a passenger. And then she goes on to say, if the truth be known, some people are actually in the back seat of their own lives. So you're in the back seat looking as someone else drives your life. Well, we're all friends and family here. Let's be honest, some of us are in the trunk of our lives, okay? And I begin to think, what's in the trunk? And you typically keep things that are not that important. For those of you that are 40 and over, you have cassette tapes maybe back there, you have an old rope, water, you have different things that you don't utilize. So here's my challenge to you on today. Get out the trunk and grab the wheel, okay? Get out the trunk and grab the wheel. Grab the wheel to what? Your life, your destiny, your dreams. You can do it and you can make it happen. So on today, I'll end with, I wish each and every one of you the best. Continue to do what you do. It's always good to celebrate people. And that's what we're doing today. Thank you and God bless.
Our keynote today is Curtis Jones, and I just have to say it has been a wonderful privilege to work with Curtis since I took this job. Unified Erie has been a really exciting project to be a part of, but there have been people who got on board very early and who have been super supportive. And as a city council member and as a member of our community, Curtis has been super supportive of all the aspects of Unified Erie, and it is my privilege to introduce Curtis Jones.
Andrew, I appreciate you tremendously, and for all of you that are working with Andrea and Unified Erie and everything that we as a community are doing to make our community better, let's give ourselves a round of applause. I don't know everyone's name, I don't know everyone's position, but every one of us has a component part. We are a component part of what makes this community wonderful. I'm beyond honored to be here. I hear Gary Lee, a good friend of mine, and we work together in many variety of areas, and he said, you know, our guest speaker. And I was just like, I'm from here, I'm not a guest. I'm a part of the family, but I recognize the position of honor to be able to speak to such valuable people and such impactful people in our community. Oftentimes because of what we get paid, I'll look around and scan, and so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Often what we get paid financially, salary, hour-to-hour rate, doesn't let us know or doesn't remind us how valuable we are. But we are much more than what we make in our paycheck, and the investment that we make into our young people that we interact with every day is priceless. So before I go any further, I just want to take a moment to tell you how valuable you are. And if it wasn't for you, just think a moment. We have a lot of challenges in our community. young people, challenges, adults. We all have a lot of issues and concerns that we are constantly working on, finding ways to improve, finding ways to grow and develop, and to maximize the potential of all the young people that we work with. But here's the thing, and it's still a little bit crazy. Can I get an amen? Gary was talking about his father being a pastor and him feeling comfortable behind the podium. He did the classic preacher, I won't say lie in church, the classic preacher miscommunication. I won't be long. Because Andrea told me that I can't be long, I'm looking at the time. You are so valuable. But again, oftentimes we don't know that and we don't recognize that. And I just want to share with you the absolute importance that you represent in this community. Because as crazy as things are, could you imagine if you didn't do what you do, how crazy it would be? And not only would it be even more crazy, but guess what? The seed that we, and I say we, because I work with young people, and since I was a kid, I was working with kids. I remember looking over my friend Dennis Williams. The first day I worked at Erie Children's Center in July of 1999. Dennis was on a Saturday morning, his day off, in his office, cutting a young man's hair. That's how I got introduced to Dennis Williams at Erie Children's Center. I don't know who's getting picked for all this. That's not a commercial for Dennis. But if it worked, isn't a great example of investing. And literally about 2 years ago or so, I saw that young man, and he still talks about him today. What you don't see, and what we often don't see, is the most important thing. We have to begin to not allow our sight, which is natural and upfront and everyday, to get in the way of our vision. Vision is not right now. Vision is the projection of hope and life and abundance into a future place that, watch this, you may not even see the fruit of it yourself. The Bible says one thing, and I am a preacher, I'm in church, so I'm at home all the way. And my daddy's a preacher, and my mom was a preacher, and my grandpa was, I won't give you the lineage. The Bible says something really powerful. It talks about in a story, and I'll share it with you quickly. It says that when a person is immature or a child, they are under tutors and governors until the time of their maturity. And often when we read that in church or we hear that lesson preached or taught or talked about, it's really focusing on the children. And watch this, believe it or not, I don't want to talk about the children today. I want to talk about you. We're here to honor what you do as tutors and governors and preparers of not the next generation, of the now generation. Now, and I use now as an acronym, we must begin to teach our young people, and watch this, learn this lesson ourselves as adults. Learn how to navigate our opportunities and our obstacles wisely. Now is the time for you to walk into the authority that you've always had as a tutor and a governor. The Bible also declares to us that we must train up our young people in the way that they should go. And when they get old, they won't depart from it. Now, in between, you've departed, and then look, we come back full circle, don't we? How many of you said, I ain't gonna be mean like my parents raised us? And next thing you know, you try to be soft, and your kids start running all over you, and then you go right back to what mom and them said. We learn how to navigate every opportunity, every obstacle, everything that we encounter. We must use wise behavior and use wisdom. The Bible declares that wisdom is the primary thing. And wisdom is much different than just facts and information. Working in social services for my whole adult life, I've read the books, I've taken the classes, I've been in great workshops, but the issue is not the information alone, it's how do we apply the information to have a lasting effect on the young people that we're investing in. Wisdom is defined as the ability to apply knowledge appropriately. I remember when I first started working in residential treatment, I was trying to work with the children the way my parents worked with me. Did you hear what I said? I said, sit down. And the response was, hula. On the cartoon, on the show, it'd be like expletives, like it'd be slash, dash, number mark, hashtag. I know we in church, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't act funny. If you're, as Gary said, over 40, you know, frigger, fragger, sugar, sugar, fragger. Right? And what I learned quickly was that the information that was given to me doesn't always work the way that it was given to me. Because when my parents told me, Carrie, to sit down, I went and sat down because the belt was next. Our kids are, listen, the only way our kids are afraid of belts today is to put them on. They ain't afraid of no belt. And I learned very quickly that I had to be able to navigate in nuance with every individual child that I worked with, what works for them. Because as we have learned in education, the cookie cutter approach does not work. You might have 1% of 1% of 1/4% that works for. And the rest of us are lost. I want to take I got another 2 minutes. Okay, 1 minute and 50 seconds. To remind you, as you encourage these young people and work with them, that you have to take time to encourage and work on yourself too. Because family, you cannot give away what you don't have. The Bible declares, I'm preaching, I am preaching, I'm good, I feel good. Give your neighbor a high five. No, some of y'all can relate to that, some of you can't. But we all here together today. If you don't take care of you, then you cannot give to these children and young people that we're working with the ability to take care of themselves. Because you cannot give what you don't have. Jack and I are good friends. And if Jack needed $1 million, as much as this is my man, my partner, I could call him, hey Jack, I got a young man, if he needed $1 million, I'd have to refer him out. It's not a lack of love or concern, it's just an inability to give what is not available for me to give. So as the Bible tells us, we must love our neighbor, how? As ourselves. But if we don't have self-love, we can't give away love to anyone else. You can't give what you don't have. So we must take care of ourselves. And this is what we often don't do. We work second shift, third shift, first shift. We just combine and we just do and we give and give and give. But at some point, if you don't refill, then you have nothing left to give. And then we begin to snap. I've been there, snap on the kids that I once was talking too smooth yesterday. But now I'm tired. Did you hear what now I go back to the default, sit down because I said so. You can't give what you don't have. Don't allow what you see in the moment, because every child you work with will not master life in your time with them. They'll master it later, but the seed you plant will be absolutely necessary and impactful for their success in the future. So don't stop sowing. Don't stop giving. Don't stop investing. I have a couple more things I want to say real quick. Don't give up on your victory while you're still losing. I'll say that again because I know it's got to rattle around in here. Don't give up on your victories while you're still losing. Because the greatest sports story is the comeback. The greatest success story is the one that it looks like everything fell apart and all of a sudden something happened and we're back on track. Don't give up on your success and your victory while you're still losing. Don't let what you see get in the way of what you envision. Last Bible reference, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard what is prepared and what lies in the future for each and every one of us. But watch this, here's the caveat. You got to invest the right seed and plant the right seed and take care of yourself so that you can be all that you're supposed to be as a tutor and a governor and a worker with the youth in our community. And watch this, they are not the future. They are the right now. Good, bad, or indifferent, they're the right now. They got all of us in this room. They've had us in the room in the church the other day. They're the right now. So we must begin to help them navigate every obstacle and every opportunity wisely. Thank you so much for hearing, and thank you for having me today.
Before we start handing out awards, I just want to say, it is an honor to read the nominations that people send in for you. And the work you do does matter. You matter in the lives of kids in this community, and you are changing them for the better. And the nominations that I get to read from kids and coworkers and parents talking about the lives that you have changed is the second best day of my year. And while we are going to recognize every single one of you, only a handful will get trophies, I want you to know that these medals, just the fact that someone took the time to nominate you, it matters. It means that you are making a difference and someone noticed. And they took the time to write us and tell us that you're pretty much awesome. So I just want you to know that I love that we get to give everyone a medal and let you know that you matter. And that just being nominated is really cool. Someone thought a lot of you. I also want to thank, real quick, we have 3 sponsors that financially make all of this possible. And this year our sponsors were American Tinning and Galvanizing Company, the District Attorney's Office, and Mercyhurst University. So if we could give them a round of applause. And McLean Church graciously has donated the use of their building, which we are so grateful for, so if we could thank them too. Okay, I am going to invite our Erie City Chief of Police, Don Dacus, to please come up. He's going to say, I think, a couple words, and then we are going to start handing out medals and trophies.
Well, thank you. I'm going to keep it brief. Those 2 guys, that's a hard act to follow. I chose a pathway of law enforcement, so that's not my pathway. I was not born into public speaking, nor did I want to pursue public speaking, but given the position, I'm thrust into it. But let me say, from a law enforcement perspective, I'm honored to be here. This is my first time here. I'm honored and I'm privileged. As law enforcement, we're on the enforcement end of it, obviously. But I can tell you that what you do, and you probably don't hear this often. I just had a meeting last week, and let me just back up a little bit. I had a meeting last week with the Chief of Adult Probation. We are not detaining juveniles at a rate that we used to. We're not seeing them. We're not seeing our juvenile crime. Our juvenile crime is on the decline. We are having trouble even staffing the Edmond L. detention facility because we're not detaining kids. Kids are not committing crime at a rate that they used to. That, to me, that is directly representative of the hard work that all of you are doing. I know it's not what we do. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the line. The encounters we have with juveniles, we try to make the most of it when we can, given the time with them that we do. But you guys are the ones putting in the hard work. Thank you. From a law enforcement perspective, thank you so much for what you do. Makes our job so much easier. Thank you.
Okay, so the logistics of having 55 nominees, here's how we're going to roll, okay? We're going to do alphabetical order the way they're in the program. So we're going to have you, whenever your name is called, if you could come up on this side, and Chief Dacus will give you your medal. And if you could look at George, we're going to get a picture of you getting your medal with the chief, and then you can go that way and find your seat again. So if there's a line forming, if you could just, I'm going to call the names and keep it rolling, but if you could form right there and get your picture taken and then keep moving, that's what we're going to do. So feel free to take pictures. There's other people want to come up and take pictures. I will say, I know it's so tempting, and y'all want to clap and hoot and holler and scream, but we've got 55. So we're going to hold off on the hooting and hollering and screaming until we're all done, and so we can hear everybody's name. All right, so we're going to start with Erin Compton from the Community Country Day School. And we'll start here and go across. Abby Mikulski from St. Martin Early Learning Center. Allison Rosa from Bethesda Children's Home, Erie County IL Program. Alyssa Polo, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Alyssa Trukanowicz, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Amy Bussard, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Amy Eisenberg, Bayfront Maritime Center. Amy Grandy, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Brandon Jones, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Brenda Martin, Bethesda Children's Home, Erie County IL Program. Carrie Tomchek, Sarah Reed Bayfront Alternative Education Program. Catherine Carell, Bethesda Children's Home, Trinity Center. Shalette Smith, Bethesda Children's Home, Trinity Center. Crystal Lepak, Youth Leadership Institute of Erie. Christine Ngozika Kroll, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Colleen Berbelis, Sisters of St. Joseph Neighborhood Network. Dan Hicks, Go College, Gannon University. Dan Kozarowski, St. Martin Early Learning Center. Dan Mastrian, Charter School of Excellence. Daryl Craig, Bluecoats. Amy, could I borrow you to help the chief because we're out of order and some people are missing? Yes, I'm sorry. It might have been me too. Apologies. Devona Packley, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Dennis Nableen, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Dennis Williams, Sarah Reed Bayfront Alternative Education Program. Frank Delacurti, GCAC Upward Bound Program. Greg Fairbank, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Jack Atkinson, Bethesda Children's Home, Erie County IL Program. Jack Tatum, Bethesda Children's Home, Trinity Center. Jacob Tobolewski, Fairview Presbyterian Church. Jane Edel, Sarah Reed Bayfront Alternative Education Program. Jen Sikora, YMCA of Greater Erie Downtown. Jennifer Saluski, Erie County Office of Children and Youth. Jermaine Easter, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Josh Talley, Go College, Gannon University. Karen Amon, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Karen Gretler, John F. Kennedy Center. Katie Pallas, YMCA of Greater Erie Downtown. Kristen Reno, Crime Victim Center of Erie County. Latikra Barnett, Bethesda Children's Home, Erie County IL Program. Lisa Titus, Perseus Maritime Charter School. Lori Rogers, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Megan Probst, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Maya Lee, Sarah Reed Children's Center. Mike Schwabenbauer, Go College, Gannon University. Pastor Owen Rhodes, Bethesda Children's Home, Trinity Center. Pauletti Kindle, Harbor Creek Youth Services. Richard Eisenberg, Bayfront Maritime Center. Rose Barr, SafeNet. Stephanie Jo Ekolinsky, YMCA of Greater Erie Glenwood Park. Tamika Worthy, John F. Kennedy Center. Tanisha King, Harbor Creek Youth Services. Tanisha Higgins, Bethesda Children's Home, Trinity Center. Teresa Williams, Early Connections City Center. Tiana Martinez, Harbor Creek Youth Services. Tyler Schaefer, Harbor Creek Youth Services. Victoria Colazzo Maldonado, Bethesda Children's Home, Trinity Center. And that are 55 nominees for the Youth Work Award. I'm going to talk for a minute while they keep coming. We have, just since I have a moment to tell you, keep taking pictures, keep walking and moving, but we, on the prevention portion of Unified Erie, we have 3 teams that work on issues, and the one that planned this is the family team, but we also have a community team and a religiosity team. And those teams work once a month, 1 hour a month, we meet and work on these projects. And if that sounds interesting, or you think, man, it's not me, but someone else from our organization would love to give input on that, please just shoot me an email and get in touch, and we can get you on one of those teams. We really try to use you well, and we really do work on stuff that matters.
Thank you. Yeah, Tanisha. Okay, let's give them all a round of applause.
If you are a nominee, could you please stand so we can just recognize you and see you right now? Thank you. All right. Okay. So here's the. We get to unveil. Oh, a couple notes. Trophy winners, when you are done after the ceremony, before you leave, we need to get a picture of you with your trophy in front of the backdrop back there. So make sure we get that. Anybody else, when we're not taking them, feel free to use the backdrop to take pictures if you want to, as your group. And over here, Danica, could you go grab that little frame and hold it up? Over by the wall, see it? We made a little selfie spot over here with a frame that says Youth Matter. Hold it up higher. So you can take your picture with your Youth Matter frame if you want to. That is self-serve, okay? All right. Our first award is given to someone, is called the Above and Beyond Award. And it's given to someone, what? Hold that, we'll keep talking. Camera difficulties. The Above and Beyond Award is given to someone who goes above and beyond in their service of the youth and individuals that they work with, who gives them themselves in a way that is more than just what is expected by the definition of their job. I'm going to wait because I want to make sure we get a picture. That one working? Okay.
We're gonna go right to the technology source here.
Poco phone. How's that? By the way, if anybody knows a professional photographer who would like to do this next year, we are more than happy. Do you want to come up and... I might be able to. Okay, I'll take you. All right, I am going to move forward. We are going to have someone check on that camera and use that camera for now, and we're good. Okay, so the Above and Beyond Award is our first one. I wanted to read just a quick quote. Aside from being a highly skilled therapist, her dedication to youth she serves is truly something to be admired. She will give every bit of her energy to ensure that kids get what they need. It is hard to put into words what a tremendous asset she is. This year's Above and Beyond Award goes to Paulette Kindle from the Harbor Creek Youth Services.
Can you guys turn over here real quick? Go back. Perfect.
The Breaking Down Barriers Award is given to someone who has demonstrated commitment and perseverance in providing youth with the tools to overcome obstacles they are facing. This person shows a special willingness to approach each individual in a unique way in order to best help them achieve their goals. This person is very effective in helping these students return to their home schools because of his thorough understanding of their environment, circumstances, and his empathy. He consistently encourages them to make the necessary positive changes. He has the ability to reach through the protective, tough exterior barriers many of these students have created to protect themselves from the negative effects of multi-generational poverty with its associated loss and trauma. His engaging sense of humor, keen observational skills, compassion, and adherence to high standards with staff and students all serve to promote sustained positive change. I believe they actually nominated him for sainthood, but receiving the Breaking Down Barriers Award this year is Dennis Williams. Congratulations.
No, you know what? It's great because they hear me in the background.
Congratulations. The Brick by Brick Award is given to someone whose work with children and youth involves laying the social, emotional, and intellectual foundation of their lives. This person helps point youth in the direction of healthy paths, excuse me. This person often goes above and beyond in being the youth's primary source. In essence, she steps into a parental role for these young adults. She is always nurturing, always caring towards these youth who are, and often uses funds of her own and works on her own time with no expectation of being reimbursed or paid. During the youth's first year of college, this individual has often had weekly contact despite not being a job requirement and already having an overwhelming caseload. During this time, she is assisted with everything from grocery shopping, balancing his checkbook, ensuring bills are paid, teaching good study habits, and basically being this huge help to the students. I watched her build a relationship with this youth. I admired how much time she devoted to all the youth she serves. I do not know how she does it. This year's Brick by Brick Award is Jennifer Saluski from the Erie County Office of Children and Youth. The Bright Future Award is given to a young youth worker who has chosen to give back to the community even though they are new in the field themselves. This individual has grown into a dedicated, hard-working young man. He completes any task given to him with accuracy. He runs therapeutic groups, uses his own artistic creativity to expand the talents of the boys at the agency. Many residents call him Coach, as he has stepped up in multiple ways. He is compassionate, caring in everything he does, and this year's Bright Future Award goes to Tyler Schaefer from Harbor Creek Youth Services. Best day ever. The Dedicated Heart Award is given to a person who has consistently opened their heart and home to youth and children in need. This person shows a willingness to share their life with children and youth and connects with them with an open heart. For the past 20 years, this individual has gone above and beyond the call of duty to prepare and serve meals for children. She thinks outside the box and is always experimenting. She has the kids in mind and especially knows what they like to eat. She takes the time and extra effort to prepare home-cooked foods from scratch as much as possible. Why serve bread when you can make homemade cornbread? Things are fresh, prepared in several varieties, and always served with ranch dressing for dip. This year's Dedicated Heart Award goes to Tamika Worthy from the John F. Kennedy Center. Congratulations. The Shaping Generations Legacy Award is given to someone who has served youth and children throughout decades of remarkable service. This person leaves a legacy of lives changed for having known them. Many adults who now serve in youth-serving roles in our community were once children mentored by this individual. We want to thank this person for many years of faithful work in our community. This individual has worked at the center for over 40 years. She is extremely dedicated, committed, and passionate to her work. She is proactive, tackles every challenge with enthusiasm and energy with the goal to make someone else's life better. She is an outstanding individual with great integrity and perseverance and shows respect to everyone she meets and associates with on a daily basis. This year's Shaping Generations Award goes to Karen Gretler from the John F. Kennedy Center.
Erin is the greatest person alive.
The True Believer Award is given to someone whose work with youth is defined by the heart they put into it. This person has remained committed in making a difference to the lives of kids and youth despite of many obstacles and often at great personal sacrifice. She has overcome significant obstacles and physical challenges to continue her work with children. She is a true advocate who has supported the needs of children while strengthening their families. She has secured weekly donations and made toys available to homeless families. She has long been a chair of multiple committees and worked as a resource coordinator for children and their families living in transitional housing. She is one of the most developed advocates in her active listening skills. Those families who have the opportunity to work and speak with her, and her gentle manner and incredible lack of judgment of their situation are fortunate. This year's True Believer Award goes to Rose Barr from SafeNet. Congratulations. The Youth Advocate Award is given to a person who has consistently been a voice on behalf of the youth they work with. This person shows a willingness to intervene and act on behalf of those youth in need. She demonstrates a high level of spirit, time, energy, and effort. She's established positive and effective training programs for foster parents, always responds to youth and family needs outside of traditional working hours, and has established effective treatment services, strong communication, and relationships with children, families, and referral sources. She is one of the most active staff on agency committees, utilizes her knowledge and expertise to help her clients, and I highly recommend her for this award. This year's Youth Advocate Award is Tiana Martinez from Public Relations. The Youth Dedication Award is given to a person who has consistently been dedicated to work on behalf of the youth that they serve. They show a willingness to dedicate their entire being to improving the lives of those that they get to work with. This individual has a strong desire to impact the lives of children and their families in a positive manner. She accomplishes this goal by the use of humor, maintaining a strong work ethic, and being trauma-informed, as the children she works with on a daily basis have been identified with serious and persistent emotional and behavioral disorders. She has a way of connecting with kids that is very real and not forced or insincere. She connects with them where they are, helps them feel listened to, and that their concerns are being validated. This year's Youth Dedication Award goes to Karen Amon from the Sarah Reed Children's Center. The Youth Empowerment Award is given to someone who is empowering youth to develop skills, independence, and self-worth. This person serves as a role model to young people that they can challenge themselves and be successful. He is absolutely outstanding. He embodies the spirit, zest, commitment, and dedication that reflects the highest caliber of care and motivation. He's extremely bright, knowledgeable, and well-versed in how to teach and demand excellence from his workers. He instills hope, provides skills, and creates opportunities for kids. And this year's Youth Empowerment Award goes to Dan Mastrian from the Charter School of Excellence. find that an award so perfectly defines someone that we need to use it twice in 1 year. And the Youth Empowerment Award also defined this individual. Her amazing passion for helping youth has spanned her entire professional career, starting as a teacher, transitioning career paths into social work realm. We are lucky she has landed here. Her strongest attribute is her passion. She has been working more with teenage girls, an empowerment group, and facilitating it. Her stamina in the face of all she has on her plate is impressive. Whether in front of the group or behind the scenes, she is never afraid to put in the time and dedication to make a meaningful connection, show her concern, and make a difference. She has a ready smile for all and is often a source of comfort to coworkers in need of a little sympathy or pep talk. In short, she is a very dedicated youth worker. The Youth Empowerment Award goes to Kristen Reno from the Crime Victim Center of Erie.
Hurry up.
The Youth Impact Award is given to someone who is clearly making a lasting impact on the lives of the youth they serve. This person demonstrates excellence and passion for their work. We received not one, not two, but 17 youth nominations for this individual. They say things like, she keeps us safe. She gave me new shoes and helped me learn how to tie my shoelaces. She inspires me to try new things. She is always teaching us like we are her own children. She is loyal, fun, honest, and creative. She plays games with us and she creates things. She is nice, funny, and kind. She is loyal. This year's Youth Impact Award goes to Shalette Smith from the Bethesda Children's Center. This was another one that we couldn't pick just one, so we have another individual getting a Youth Impact Award. This individual, she has many clients seek to return to her even after they have graduated school. They have sought her out even after an extended time because of the high level of quality care they received during their time with her. Because of the nature of her clientele, she needs to be able to address multiple issues at multiple different age clients, and they're often compounded. They come from a variety of backgrounds, and she deals with flexibility and creativity on her part. She has shown the ability to rise to the challenge and provide whatever interventions her clients require. Her clinical skills and integrity are exceptional. She is a strong source of valuable information and guidance to coworkers. She is creative, proactive. Her work is characterized by integrity, empathy, support, genuineness, respect, and she provides client-centered, individual, and relevant interventions, presenting clinical issues to the clients she served. She is most proud of the outcomes that she has when they work in their treatment and begin to heal. It is unfortunate I am unable to adequately reflect the value she has to her clients and our agency. And the Youth Impact Award goes to Megan Probst from Erie Children's Center. The Youth Innovation Award is given to someone who has demonstrated creativity when engaging challenges, commitment to trying new approaches, and willingness to find effective new ideas. This individual has a talent to articulate complicated topics, age-appropriate, and never ceases to strive or improve her own performance, constantly learning from the youth she works with. When she talks about her interactions with youth, she shows deep respect for their struggle, their viewpoint, and their insights. Her shared perceptions let you participate in the delight that these young people of today bring to our neighborhood. This year's Youth Innovation Award goes to Colleen Berbelis from the Sisters of St. Joseph. Don't hate me, I'm sorry. I brought two cameras, who would guess they'd both be funky?
Just keep it held down. We're good. Still holding. Yeah. No. We've got about 4 pictures of the floor that you're
Awesome. Okay, so just so you all know how this works, we get all these nominations and put together a team of volunteers that work on the family team, and we just sit in a room with highlighters and read them, and a box of Kleenex. And we just find the ones that move us, that we're like, oh my word, that is just an amazing story. And every year, there is one that makes us all cry. And that is the one that we make the Youth Worker of the Year Award. And I would like to read a decent chunk of this. So get your Kleenex out. This is from a youth, a previous youth who was served, who took the time to write this. I came from a long history of juvenile delinquency. This was the final place that would give me a chance. So I just wanted to keep my head down and pass through. He had other plans than mine. He pushed me to try out for the basketball team, so I did, and I was horrible. That didn't matter though, he pushed me to stay at it. I quit smoking cigarettes because of him. I quit all my delinquent activity. I didn't have time for it anymore. My grades improved because he pushed me to do better and be better, and he never gave up on me even when he should have. I fell back into drugs my junior year, and I let him down in my team, even though I had become the captain. But he still didn't give up on me and pushed me even harder. He pushed me through those years of life and graduation. He is someone I know is always a phone call away. He has helped me through the hardest times in my life long after I graduated. Even now, 7 years after I graduated, I need help for joining the Navy, losing weight and preparing before I ship out, and he is still the first to jump in and help. With a wife and kids, 2 jobs, he is working on to better his own education. He still finds time to help me. I think that says everything about a man's character that needs to be known. If I was to tell him how much he means to me, I would tell him I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be the man I am today without him. I would more than likely be in jail or dead without him striving to make me better and the other people who work to make me better. This is why I believe Mr. Aaron Compton deserves the Youth Worker of the Year for 2017. Congratulations. Aaron is from the Community Country Day School, by the way. And there's some pictures of him with his students. I cannot tell you what an honor and privilege it is to get to be here and just thank you guys for what you do. I know I've said it multiple times, but what you do matters. You're amazing, and you're making the difference like this in the lives of kids. And whether they actually take the time to tell you or not, you are making a difference, and you are amazing. Congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you from Unified Erie for the 2017 Youth Work Awards. All the winners need to get their picture taken. So if you received a trophy, if you could make your way up here, we're going to take one group picture and then you can socialize. So winners with trophies, please come forward. That does conclude our program, and if you have surveys, you're welcome to drop them off. Otherwise, it's picture and social hour.